You will always make mistakes. You will never be the fastest, strongest, sharpest tool in the shed when you first get there. And I guess it's the fact that the sooner you own up and you know that you're getting into a place from a point of imperfection, and you willing to absorb as much knowledge and expertise as possible, is what sets you apart from everyone else. So yeah, I guess that's the right place to start. That you need to know that when you get into any new industry, you need to be a complete blank slate. Doesn't matter which school you went to, you just need to go to that environment with a blank slate, willing to learn and absorb as much as possible, and then you own up to your mistakes and not justify, and then that makes you have a better edge, a better way of doing things in future. Some of the major highlights would be being in an environment or a space or meeting people who I would ordinarily never meet. People like a former US Secretary of State at the time of Obama. When Obama was in the country, I got to meet his delegation, like his security detail, like Air Force One pilots. Like I've met some really interesting people that sometimes I think about it and I'm like, hey, even I don't believe, you know, if someone was telling me this story, I'd probably be like, hey, this guy is probably reading it from a fiction novel or something. But I've been fortunate enough to meet some incredible people. A culinary icon called Anthony Bourdain, Hollywood stars, like amazing international musicians and acts, like, you know, feeding people like 2 Chainz and Neo and just hanging out with them and, you know, taking shots and feeding them and just having a vibe with them. Sometimes I think about it and I'm like, yeah, I'm in the right space, because otherwise I don't think I'd have met any of these people. And it's just to mention but a few. Challenges every single day, even today. Like you always find a challenge. You know, systems that don't work in your favor or don't work out as they should. Operational challenges here and there, these will always happen. So I guess the most important thing is to realize that there is no perfect situation anywhere, and you are more or less your source of perfection. So it's you to get into a space knowing that you're going to be faced with a lot of challenges and difficulty, but that also builds character and shows you how to move around and adapt to that whole situation. I'm removing the seeds from my red pepper because they would make my stew bitter, and we don't want that. Well, I think the most important thing is to always remain humble, always know that you will need to learn, and you'll need to grow, and you need to practice. Doesn't matter which industry you're in, whether you're an athlete, you're a chef, you're a lawyer, doctor, you always need to practice. And I guess that's why it's called a practice in many industries, because the more you practice, the more you solve multiple situations and challenges at one go, or at, you know, different instances. So yeah, just practice and be consistent and learn. Always learn and be humble. A bit of salt, bit of black pepper, and a pinch of sugar. Well, it's very simple. If you don't evolve and adapt to current situations, you die. Not literally, but I mean figuratively speaking. I'm saying that because I had to, with changing times, you need to see what's working and where people are at and where technology is growing towards. And so right now, for you to put yourself out there and to make some sort of significance, most people are, online. And the one thing that I think really blew up during the COVID period is that because people could not be together physically, people could only be together virtually. And so it was important for me to transition into that virtual space to still be able to connect with people because they cannot go out as much. And the options are either dining in or cooking in. Then it's important to also push that agenda of good Kenyan food at the comfort of your home, so that you're also not bored with the few options that are dictated by Kenyan culture and Kenyan cultural food, but also just give you more ideas on how to take your everyday easy ingredients and transform them into something exceptional. So again, that was a good opportunity to push the agenda of Kenyan food culture and put it on a different platform. So yeah, check out the Kenyan Kitchen, where you learn how to do or how to use very basic everyday ingredients and convert them into an experience that you can share with your family and friends. And I also use my social media platforms, more so Instagram, to just take clips of my everyday food lifestyle. So showing people that you can take a very simple ingredient. It doesn't have to be expensive. I mean, a culinary experience does not need to be expensive. It could be one ingredient, but then you season that ingredient well enough to turn it into an experience. So that's my agenda. Take my social media platform and not only encourage and teach people who want to be in the space, in the professional space of culinary and hospitality, but also encourage people at home on how to elevate our Kenyan food, because all I need to do is spark an idea and you are going to have a different creative approach to it. And I'm going to learn from you in as much as you've learned from me from that one basic idea. So that's just how a whole culture is impacted. And by the time we know it, Kenyan food will be celebrated all over the world. So that's the mission. Check out the Kenyan Kitchen at Chef Lesiamon or Chef Les on Instagram. And let's connect. Let's share food stories. These are delicious.